Guys, so today I'm taking advantage of the 40-ish degree weather for going on the second week in a row here in New Hampshire. And I thought instead of trudging through a ton of snow and freezing my hiney off, that I would come out here with Shiloh and prune some of these baby trees. These are apple trees. We've got about 13 here in this bunch, and they're going into their third year. These are small. We got them last year and planted them in the spring, and I'd say they've gained about a third of what they were. So pruning to me in the beginning seemed very intimidating, and now that I understand the point of it and how to do it, it's really not that complicated. So what we're planning, and this is slow, you gotta think ahead, but what we're planning for is that when this apple tree is big enough to pick fruit from, the lowest branches you want to set maybe around between waist and shoulder height. That just gives you more ability to walk around underneath the tree. It really depends on what kind of tree you have, if it's a dwarf, mini, or a regular 15 to 25 foot apple tree. I'm gonna be pruning my trees over time to make sure that they don't get out of hand and I don't have to have ladders everywhere, so that will make it easier. Pruning also feels a little counterintuitive. You feel like you're just killing the tree by cutting off all the branches, but really that's not happening. So what we're working on the first 2 to 3 years primarily is really building up that root system. So by pruning the tree in its dormant season, when springtime comes around, we will the tree will begin to spread its roots further versus putting all of its energy into these many branches. So what I have here, I'm not sure if you can see these lower branches, but I'm actually I'm gonna leave these because as the tree gets taller, I want to see how far they're gonna end up. They're almost to waist height, but I want to see where those are gonna end up. So with trees, what you want to do is you want to have one runner that goes straight up, and the others that are heading north, you want to cut to just above the bud that's pointing outward. So let's see, I'm looking for a bud that's pointing outward, and I have one right here. So I'm gonna cut just above that. Some people cut at an angle, some people say not to cut at an angle. I think there's a slight angle to it, which the whole point of that is so that water doesn't accumulate on the top of that and freeze, cause diseases. So on this one, this is actually, I'm gonna try to train this one to be my runner because this came to us without a shoot that was heading straight up. So I have a bud on this side, which I believe if I snip right above it, it will start going up. Now, oh, actually I found one over here that's even better. So I'm gonna snip that off, and then when you cut the branch just above the bud in the spring, when this starts growing, it's going to sprout from the bud that's closest to it. So that's how you're designing this tree is, okay, this bud is pointing to the left, I'm going to snip just above it, and then the branch will go to the left. So you're training your tree to go in the direction you need it to go. So I'm going to snip this one. I've got I've got a bud that's heading behind me, so when that sprouts, it will start to head this way. Now these little trees, some of them already got snipped by the deer. So that's why I have this dial soap hanging here. It is supposed to deter deer from coming over and eating your buds. So I'm actually snipping some of this too, because they have nibbled off the ends. So do that. Now this looks like a Charlie Brown tree. But again, when this starts growing in the spring, are you ready to get out? When this starts growing in the spring, the new buds are going to form the branches. And actually, I'm finding that they're growing 6 to 12 or more inches during the warm season, these new branches, which is terrific. So that's a short tutorial. I'm going to do more a little bit later on and maybe get some close-ups for you. But yeah, I just wanted to share. Thanks.